What nobody tells you about the pyramids. No matter how many times you've been to the pyramids, they still blow your mind every time. The architectural feats they were able to pull off were amazing for the time, and they still stand as proof of their skill today. We still don't know a lot about the pyramids, but we have learned a lot since modern man first saw them, and we can't wait to see what they find in the years to come. Hello and welcome back. This is Curiosity Corner. In this video, we'll show you something about the pyramids that no one tells you. So don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe to our channel. Let's get started. How were the pyramids built? The materials and the mysteries. Over a millennium, the ancient Egyptians constructed 100 pyramids as royal tombs. They thought pyramids helped rulers enter the afterlife and acted as holy sanctuaries. During the Old Kingdom from the late 26th to mid-22nd centuries BC, the Egyptians erected their largest and most ambitious pyramids. During the 4th dynasty, King Khufu, his son, and his grandson built the 3 huge pyramids at Giza, just outside of Cairo. Khufu built the biggest one, which is called the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid was built with 2.3 million stone pieces and reached 50 stories. Its base is a nearly perfect square with 4 cardinal points aligned. The Great Pyramid was originally covered with smooth, light-colored limestone. Later years deteriorated and swept away the finer limestone, but it is still in the inner channels. The stone burial chamber was inside. Over 20,000 laborers, bakers, carpenters, and water carriers built the pyramid over 20 years. We do not know for sure how the architectural masterpiece was built, but the most popular theory is that the Egyptians used a ring of sand and bricks that got higher as the pyramids got taller. King Khafre, Khufu's grandson, carved the Great Sphinx from a leftover slab of limestone. The Sphinx has the body of a sleeping lion and a human face meant to represent Khafre. No interior chambers are known. In addition to King Khufu's mum, the pyramid includes afterlife items. Before modern archaeologists began researching the pyramids in the 17th century, tomb robbers stole many priceless things. What was inside? Pharaohs were the rulers and religious leaders of ancient Egypt. Sometimes members of Pharaoh's family were also buried with them, either in the same tomb or in smaller tombs nearby. Ancient Egyptians thought that the pharaoh's spirit stayed with the body after he died. They thought that these huge monuments, which are pointed up towards the heaven, were safe ways for the spirit to move on to the next life. Egyptians put valuable things like gold, jewelry, and pottery inside the pyramid. They also put statues of Pharaoh, which they thought he would take with him to the afterlife. Let's look more closely at some of Egypt's most famous pyramids and the powerful leaders who were buried inside. Number 1. The Pyramid of Djoser in Egypt. The Pyramid of Djoser, also called the Step Pyramid, was built in Saqqara in 2650 BC. The great King Djoser was buried in the chamber tomb under the huge monument. Djoser was the king of Egypt's 3rd dynasty. He is known for being the first person to build temples, monuments, and buildings out of stone. A statue of King Djoser made of limestone that was found on the site shows what he might have looked like. Number 2. The Great Pyramid of Giza. In 2589 BC, the powerful King Khufu had the Great Pyramid of Giza built as a place for him to live. His queen, Hunutsen, was buried alongside him. Khufu was one of the most powerful rulers of ancient Egypt. Number 3. The Pyramid of Khafre in Egypt. Since King Khafre was the son of King Khufu, it makes sense that his tomb would be close to that of his father. In his honor, the Pyramid of Khafre was built in Egypt around 2494 BC. Nearby, the Great Sphinx is next to the path that leads to Khafre's temple, which suggests that this tremendous statue was also made to honor Khafre. Number 4. The Menkaure Pyramid. The Pyramid of Menkaure is the smallest of the 3 Egyptian pyramids of Giza. It is about half as tall as the neighbors. King Menkaure, who ruled Egypt during the 5th dynasty, was buried there. Since he was the grandson of King Khufu, it makes it natural that he would be interred next to his forefathers, beneath the pyramids. A British explorer says he has found the lost underworld of the pharaohs, which he says is a huge network of caves, chambers, and tunnels hidden beneath the pyramids of Giza. The underground complex was discovered in the limestone bedrock under the pyramid field at Giza. It was home to bats and poisonous spiders. British explorer Andrew Collins said, "There is undiscovered archaeology down there, as well as a delicate ecosystem with colonies of bats and species of spider that we think is the White Widow." Collins found the entrance to the mysterious underworld by reading the forgotten memoirs of diplomats and explorers from the 1800s. He wrote about his findings in a book called Beneath the Pyramids. You'll find a link to the book in the description. Fun facts. Here are some interesting things about the Pyramids of Giza that might make you go to Egypt. Number 1. The Pyramids of Giza are near the city of Giza in Egypt. On the eastern edge of the city, on the Giza Plateau, you can find the Giza Complex. Take a picture of the view of the modern city next to the ancient pyramids to see how the area has changed over time. Even though the 3 biggest pyramids on the Giza Plateau are the most well-known, the site has a total of 9 pyramids. Number 2. The Pyramids of Giza were built more than 1,200 years before King Tut ruled. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the oldest and only one of the original 7 world wonders that still stands. This is one of the most interesting and fun facts about it. This is the oldest and largest of the 9 pyramids at the Giza necropolis. Number 3. The height of the Great Pyramid of Giza is 481 feet. For 3,800 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza was the tallest building in the world. The Lincoln Cathedral in Lincoln, England was the first building to be taller than the Great Pyramid. It was finished in 1311. Number 4. Egyptians erected Giza's pyramids. Egyptians aren't sure how the pyramids were built, but the most widely held hypothesis is that the Egyptians erected them as a public service. These skilled workers were paid. Archaeologists and Egyptologists believe that 20,000 Egyptians worked on the pyramids at their peak. What you don't know. Since modern man first saw the pyramids, we've learned a lot about them. Here are some things that you might have missed about the pyramids. Some were flat on top. Most of the time we think of a pyramid as a triangle with a pointy top, but that's not true for all pyramids. We all know that the Step Pyramid of Djoser was the first pyramid in Egypt, but what we don't know is that it had a flat top and was different as you went up. They used to be stunning. Before, the pyramids didn't look so dull. In fact, when the sun shone on them, they sparkled. They used to be made of polished limestone, which might look like glass to us now. These stones reflected light like mirrors, making it easy to see the pyramids from anywhere on the landscape. There is air conditioning in the Great Pyramid. Even though air conditioning hadn't been made then, the Egyptians found a way to keep the temperature inside the Great Pyramid at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This is only true in the King's Chamber, and the engineering behind this is still a mystery. They were accurate. The Egyptians wanted their building plans to have meaning, so they lined up the tips of these monstrosities with important stars. People thought they were trying to build a copy of heaven on earth because they were looking at Thuban, which was the North Star at the time. A lot of them were looted. Since the first pyramids were built, a lot of history has been lost, and tomb robbers are often to blame. They were built to protect the bodies of the dead kings, but as time went on, people realized that thieves would just steal from them. People used to think that whatever you buried with you went with you to the afterlife, so kings and queens were buried with a lot of money. Best time to travel. The high season, which is the best for exploring without sweating, is from mid-October to February. This is the most popular time to head to Sinai, to Western Desert for outdoor adventures, or to soak in the winter sun between diving in South Sinai and along the Red Sea coast. The shoulder season is to avoid crowds, which are from March to May, and from September to early October. Shoulder travel is often ideal. Major monuments are less crowded and hotels are cheaper. The best time to dive into the Red Sea is known as the low season, which is from June to August. Sharm el-Sheikh and the Red Sea shoreline attract serious divers in the summer. They're ready to endure the land's heat for quiet, pleasant seas and good visibility. Egypt is year-round, so casual divers can skip summer. Now it's up to you which season you like the most to travel in Egypt. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.